Hello and welcome. My name is David Baker and I'm running for county mayor. Coming to you with another video. I enjoy doing these usually, talking about family, my grandfather, talking about policy, talking about our county, talking about this job. I look forward to those. This one, not so much. I'm coming to you to catch you up on what's going on concerning a situation with another candidate. Let me back up quickly of how I got started in this. There was a veterans dinner and they invited me to speak. I spoke, things went well. After that, a lot of people started asking me to run for things, and I said, no, I'm a preacher, not a politician. A few weeks later, Sheila called and said, David, would you consider running for county mayor? Andy Ogles is going to be running for Congress in Washington, and we need somebody who is good to be able to be our county mayor, someone who's going to stand against a mandate, someone who's a patriot for liberty, someone who loves people and loves this county and is good with people. And David, I think you would do a great job. I was honored, and I said, no, thank you. I'm a preacher, not a politician. She asked me would I pray about it. And I did. I started praying about it then. I had a strong sense that that's something that God would want, but honestly, I did not want to do it and ran from it. Ever since then, people had been asking me to run for county mayor and kept pushing it off until it got to be so much I felt like that may be what God wanted. I wrote down 7 or 8 things and said, God, if you want me to run for this, then God, these things need to happen. And within 2 weeks, they did. I was leaving a meeting and I called my wife to tell her what happened, and she said, I'm for it. I went to see my mom and dad, and my dad said, son, I know you do a great job. The third call was to Sheila. I wanted to let her know that when she had asked me to pray about it, I did, and finally felt that this is for sure what God wanted. When I called her, that's when she told me that she was also running for county mayor. My initial response was, okay, good, I don't have to run, but it didn't have anything to do with her. It had to do with what God wanted me to do, and that didn't change, and so I jumped in. Since then, right away, some negative and bad and lies started to be spread. A text message was sent from Sheila to a friend saying that I had been charged with illegal crimes, with fraud. I was responsible for someone's suicide and a bunch of junk. And so I knew it was going to be a mess. The first thing I did was to contact a friend, a Christian businessman friend who's in the party, and said, hey, could you help mediate this? It's going to be a mess if it doesn't get fixed. And he said, sure. So Sheila and I went to his office and we talked for 30 minutes or so. And I tried to explain to her the things that were being said were not true, and she didn't care. And it didn't matter. And the meeting did not go well. Then I went to Brett Cooper's office. He's the DA, and said, hey, here's what's being said about me. He said, that's wrong. He said, that's defamation. And he searched their computer with my name and date of birth and knew what I knew, that I had never been indicted, arrested for anything. And he added in that I've never even been investigated for any crime ever by the DA's office. And he wrote that up on a letter, typed it up and signed it, and said, if you have any questions, let me know. I thought that would take care of it, and it didn't, and it kept on going. I put it off another month or two, and then recently I heard that someone from the executive committee had said to a friend of mine that David Baker assaulted somebody. And most of the time, honestly, and it's sad, but people just believe what's said. He was a friend and didn't believe it. He said, that doesn't sound like the David Baker I know. We work together. And he said, who did he assault? When did he assault him? Where did he assault him at? And then the person on the executive committee of the Republican Party of Murray County started backing up and didn't want to talk about it anymore. Then I realized, okay, this is not going away. They're disparaging my character. They're lying and talking bad about me, and I'm going to have to do something about it. Then the chair of the Murray County Republican Party, Debbie Matthews, I have a text that she sent to somebody saying David Baker lied. Sheila did not ask him to run for county mayor. And so, honestly, I don't know the truth of which is it. Did she lie to him, or did Sheila lie to Debbie and say she didn't ask me? I don't know. But I do have the text that Debbie had sent to a friend saying that I was lying, that Sheila didn't ask me to run. All those things get to the point where you have to do something. And so I contacted an attorney, a Republican attorney out of Vanderbilt, a good guy, and told him what was going on. And he looked it up and said, yes, that's defamation, and that is malicious defamation. You can't have a candidate making those kind of comments about another candidate that are lies. And so he suggested to go ahead and sue. And I said, no, I just want to send her a letter. I just want it to stop. Just cease and desist. Stop that. Apology. I didn't know. Now I know it wasn't true. And then she wouldn't say anything else. So he sent a cease and desist, and what she had to sign was very simple, very easy, basically putting the guilt on the people who told her about it, and her guilt was not checking into it and passing it on. That was it. Signed, it would be over. And she would not do that. And so this week, we have filed a lawsuit against Sheila for defamation concerning these things. I believe that God wants me to run for mayor, and I believe there's a good chance that I will have the privilege of serving as Maury County Mayor. But even bigger than that is my reputation. Reputation with my wife, with my family, my integrity. That's going to go for the rest of my life as ministry or anything that I do. And I cannot allow those things to be said knowing they are not true. A lot of people say, oh, just forget about it, don't worry about it. If that were you, and that was going to affect your whole life and ministry and your children and your grandchildren, the integrity, I'm sorry, that is important. That's important to me. I have lived my life the last 33 years as close I could to what God wanted me to do. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes, but the things of which they are accusing me are not true at all. And it is sad that people in the party would lie, make up lies, spread lies, or at minimum, not at least check into something before they go to spread it to other people. So the lawsuit is filed and discovery is being put out where people on the executive committee have to share the text messages and emails that they have received or sent out concerning me and concerning those things that were said about me. So if you're listening to this and you're like, you know what, I got one of those texts, I got one of those emails, or yes, they told me that, would you let me know? Email me, davidbakerformayor@gmail.com. We're putting together that. I need to know where it came from, who is spreading those lies, and then who is sharing them with other people. And so if you have something like that, I would sure appreciate being able to have a copy of that so we could use that to stop it, okay? On the lawsuit, there's not a money value put. I'm sure there'll have to be as it's amended to go forward. The money is nothing to me. That is not what I want at all. And I already told the newspaper that if any money did come from this, I've got some great 501c3s, some ministries that I would love to donate it to. I'm not looking for anything from this financially. The only thing that I want is that good name back, where my reputation isn't trashed and things are said and passed on, whispered, that are not true. I want those things to be able to stop. Now, I can't stop it, but legally, I can make sure that she is not going to be spreading these things. That is not what running for office is about. They wonder why good people don't want to run for things like this. This is why. Because things that people have done in the past that are real, those are brought up. I don't have that. Yes, 33 years ago, before I was a preacher, I spent one night in jail. I got a DUI. I make that public all the time. That's what got me started in a jail ministry. One night in jail, I was running from God and skipped church, went to the beach for the weekend, and God said, no, you're not. In the Army, you put me in jail for one night. Well, that got my attention. I remember being there all night wishing there had been a preacher there to help me, and there wasn't. So when I became a preacher, I had a heart to go help those guys, and for 28 years I've done that. And that's how God can take our bad, even our sin, and turn it around for good. Yes, things like that, I'll be glad to tell you the truth of those things, because we are not perfect, and we all make mistakes. But the things that they are accusing me of are totally wrong and lies. And I've already said, if anyone has a question about that, feel free, email me, call me, my cell number, 931-797-1816. Glad to talk to you about any of that. So if you've heard or seen anything, feel free to pass it on. And when you hear the lawsuits, sometimes what happens, remember in grade school, somebody gets hit, and when they hit them back, that's the one that gets caught. That's the one that gets in trouble. I hope that you see and understand by all the things that I did in trying to meet with her personally with a witness and a businessman, and then trying to get the letter from the DA to show her, look, this is not something that I've done. And then the cease and desist letter, I don't want a lawsuit. Just stop saying these things that aren't true. Apologize, and we're done. The lawsuit is not something that was wanted by me, and I hope you can see by all these things that is not what we wanted to push. I just don't know what else to do. And honestly, Sheila Budd has been in politics long enough to know this is wrong. But I think she feels like the only way she can win is to disparage me, because she asked me to run. She said glowing things about me that I would make a great mayor. Oh no, now she's running, I've got to squash that. And this is how she's doing it. And that's just wrong. That's wrong. That's not how this is supposed to be done. Run on your record. Run on your ideas. Run on who you are. Run on what you want to do. Don't run on destroying the other person. So here it is. That's the video. That's the update. Thank you for watching it. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. When I filed this, so many people have said, wow, that needed to be done. You didn't have a choice. We're glad you did that. Someone said it's about time that happened, because they know of other things that are done that aren't right. And again, this is not what I want to do, but I feel like I have to do it for my name and for my reputation. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support and your prayers. God bless you. One more thing that I really sort of hate about this is these type things cost money. to hire an attorney to do that. I don't want to make this a big fundraising plea. I don't like it when people do that. But if in your heart you say, you know what, that's wrong that he's having to go through that, I would like to help him with that. I would appreciate it. You can go to davidbakerformayor.com and click donate, and it can be used to be able to help this fight that we are in. So again, if you can't help, that's great. I understand. We appreciate your support and prayers. But if God touched your heart and you say, you know what, I'd like to help him out with those expenses, it would sure be appreciated. Thank you.